We started a series last week, and this is a series about getting back to basics. Getting back to basics. Spirit asked me to do this during the month of September, just to refresh ourselves so we can see and understand just some of the basic concepts that we live and move and have our being in, and sometimes we need to be reminded. I actually had requested a psychologist to come and give her talk on how she teaches children in kindergarten about their right and left brain and how to monitor love. She could not make it, but if she ever can, I will bring her in for us. Sometimes we need to hear it that simply. So today I'm going to be talking about everything is energy. All right, I'm going to need a volunteer this Sunday morning, and I'm going to need someone who's completely in a neutral space. Not someone who's overly excited, overly moved, overly blip, but neutral space who would not mind us using them as a demo.
No problem.
I'll take Cheryl.
There you go.
Cheryl, you're not, it's hard to find a neutral person. You stand in the corner. I also need someone I can boss around. Am I on?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Whoa.
Put your kindergarten brains on, peeps. Turn into me this way. Lori. These are dowsing rods. Most of you are familiar with them. They're used for measuring energy fields. They're used for finding water. They're used for various things. So when you use them to measure an energy field, see they're free floating in here. And this is what Spirit guided me to do. I have no idea how this will come out. This is not a magic trick. So you must the entire time shut your eyes. And you must not ever look. Now, until I tell you to. You can for a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the outer edge of her auric field. Okay, so this is her auric field. This is how far she is vibrating today. Okay, you can open your eyes and look. All right, now would you please shut your eyes and put your hands out in front of you. We're going to be placing objects in your hands.
Up, down.
Up, together, together, hands together. And up. And up.
Like your friend.
And up.
Oh, with your hands. Like
Shut your eyes. Now, I'm going to do this so you guys can see. So, Bonnie has equipped me with these beautiful panels, so you'll be able to watch the movement of the energy more carefully. So everybody say thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie. Am I supposed to keep that?
Yeah.
Are my eyes supposed?
Yeah, you're
supposed to be?
supposed
Okay.
I should have already wrote it. Remember I talked about staff for the
It's good to have staff.
Okay. And once again, I'm going to measure her field. Okay, am I about the same place? All right, now I'm going to come to the edge. It alters based on what she's been laughing. It'll shift a little. Lori, can we have envelope number 1? Okay, our energy fields, this is when people feel us when they get closer than this. So this is the outer edge of the auric field. So you're just going to place this in her hands, and you're just going to do nothing but stand there with your eyes shut. Are you guys watching the rods? All right. All right, now her auric field is expanded this far. Would you please remove the envelope? Just watch the rods and go get envelope number 2. Watch the rods, please. Can you guys see the movement? It's more on one than the other. Don't do it yet. Am I close to where I was before?
You're further away. Yeah.
Okay, and for a little further, second envelope, please. Are you watching the rods? They're trying to cross, but the fabric keeps them from doing so. Yeah. Are you watching the rods?
Wow.
Can you remove the envelope, please? Do you all see the rods? Didn't do what it did like. Can I get number 3, please? Are you watching the rods?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's her edge. Can you remove number 3? Are you guys watching the rods?
Yeah.
Okay, can you be seated, please? Are you watching the rods? Trying to get to the edge of her field. Is this near where I started?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get out of her field. You can open your eyes now, Cheryl. Okay, now that's where the edge of your field is. Yeah. Watch the rods, peeps. Are they moving?
A little bit.
Are they going back to the original position?
Very slightly.
The original position is way up there. Okay. Cheryl, thank you so much. Could you feel the differences as we work with your energy field? All right. You can stay up with me if you'd like.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. Can I get envelope number 1, please? Sure. Thank you for being such a wonderful guinea pig. Everything is energy. Cheryl had no idea what was in the envelope. But do you all recall what happened? Her energy field opened when she was given this envelope. Inside the envelope is a very simple, tiny rose quartz. Her mind did not know it was rose quartz. She did not, as a crystal person, know it was rose quartz, but her energy field reacted to the energy of the rose quartz. And what happened when envelope number 1 was taken away? She reverted back to her original state. Now do you understand why people put rose quartz in their pockets and in their wallets and in their wherever to it expands naturally the energy field. Everything is energy. Envelope number 2, please. Do you all recall what happened when we got envelope number 2?
Yeah.
The energy wanted to cross and it went really tight to her body. She had no idea what was in envelope number 2, but her body responded to the vibration of it. In envelope number 2, was a piece of paper, and I did this with permission. My sister Judy's fear of debt. My sister lives in debt. It terrifies her. My sister's fear of debt influenced her energy field.
Right.
And it locked it down.
Yeah.
And when I took the envelope away, Lori took the envelope away, did it restabilize?
Yes.
It didn't, no, her field never opened again.
But
It stayed tight. Her energy never reopened like it did. It stayed tight. So somebody that she does not know, who has a tremendous fear of debt, affected her field to the point where she did not restabilize. Energy is powerful. Now, this is an emotionally charged thing. This is my sister, so there is emotion with it. It's a real person. I don't know if you just write fear of death on a piece of paper for it have the same effect. But I wanted you to see it locked her down, and after it was removed, she did not rebalance. Do you remember? Then what did we put in her hands in the bag? And when we put the bag in her hands, did you guys see her energy field rebalance immediately?
Yeah.
She had no idea what was in the bag, did she? How do you know? Did you know it was Aquarian? It's Aquarian Gospel. It's a book of Jesus' life. It's a beautiful book of God's love. And when that got put back into her hands, she opened it immediately. She went way out here, didn't she? Now, when the bag was taken away, what happened? She went back to her normal position. Her normal position, you were anywhere from, you were way at the corner, you were anywhere from here to here. It's this little normal position that you're rocking back and forth in. But when it was removed, she went back to her normal. Now do you understand when I tell you I sleep with Jesus Teacher Healer under my pillow every night? Do you understand why I do that? Do you understand why I tell you if you're going to meditate, have a holy book that you love by your side? You know, in your meditation area. Do you all see? It's energy. Everything has energy. Then the next thing that we did, I did not know. I asked Samantha to participate. I didn't know it was going to be her mother, Cheryl. So when, did you realize it was Sammy standing by your side?
Well, she was giggling, so yeah, but it wasn't right away.
And the minute I asked Sammy, I said, Sam, just be a happy person. I just need a happy person to come stand by Cheryl. And the minute she came by, we went from neutral way back again, because the joy and energy of a new being was influencing her energy field. And then when Samantha sat back down, we're back to neutral again. Are you guys getting it?
Yes.
Say, I'm getting it.
I'm getting it.
Energy of, huh?
You're doing good.
Oh, yeah.
You're mad over our heads.
Okay, all right. Kindergarten, here we go. So, energy affects us. It affects us. So not only do we have to keep our core strong, we have to keep our environment. We have to be awake to our environment. Now, the very last thing that I did, you all guys saw me stand back here. No, where I was here. Do you know what I did?
You sent her love.
I prayed for her. I prayed for her. I said, God, my father, my mother, I ask that she feel your love moving into her, blessing her soul, blessing her spirit. And she got big. And when I was done and I said amen, I opened my eyes, did it contract? No. It did not contract. How powerful is that? How powerful is prayer? And she held it. That's how powerful we are. When we know what we're doing energetically and we send that beautiful, loving energy. Did you enjoy?
Yes. Thank you for praying for me.
I do every day. All right, thank you, Lori. Thanks, Lori. All right. I am going to have Patrick get the rods out after service. We have several extra sets of rods if any of you want to play. Feel free, you know, to play with each other and just, because, you know, watching me, I know it's amazing, but you want to play for yourself. All right. So, let me recap now. If we realize that we are affected by the energy around us, can you finally give yourself permission? Finally, give yourself permission to acknowledge when you walk into a room and you feel repelled, something's up.
Yes.
Can you finally say, there must be something in here that's not resonating with me? Can we do that?
Yes.
When you're watching a show on TV and you go,
Yeah.
I should not be watching this.
Yeah.
Can you finally know that it's affecting you?
Yeah.
It's affecting you. And what I want you to hear, when good comes into your world and you expand and you become enlightened because of the greater frequency that's been introduced to you, this good's coming to you. And you're feeling great. And when it leaves, you contract a little maybe. You maybe go back to normal, but it's a bigger normal, a slightly bigger normal. But when negative comes into your world and you bottom out because of a negativity that is not yours. It was not yours. And you bottom out because you're in that influence, how hard is it to reboot?
Very hard.
It's hard to reboot. It's hard to reboot. It's hard to get those energies back going again, to say, no, I am a child of God. I'm a child of God. Being a good steward of our energy field is important. And understanding energy is energy. Energy is everything. All right. What deflates you, be aware of. And don't go, oh, I can handle it. You can't. You can't handle it. What deflates you, be aware of. What inflates you and expands you, be aware of. Welcome them into your field. Do you know how wonderful it is just to sit beside a friend that you love?
Yeah.
And say nothing.
Yeah.
Just say nothing. We got a bunch of nothing back. Just sit. The energy field that you share is blessing everybody. You know? It's powerful where there's no agenda. It's powerful. All right. So Spirit wanted me to remind you, you do not have to mentally decide if something is good for you or not. Energetically, you already know. And this comes from picking the food you eat, to picking the situations you find yourself in. Energetically, you already know whether it will expand you or contract you. You don't need to make a mental decision about it. Some energy has more substance than others. If there is emotionally charged energy, as we saw with my sister's death, it's going to have more substance to it. Energy with substance goes deeper into your pores. Are you aware of that? Just like the prayer goes deeper into your body. It goes deeper inside. So I wanted to talk to you about prayer. Prayer is that energy that has the substance of good from God's love. In the Aquarian, chapter 84, a woman had heard of Jesus. A woman had heard of Jesus, and she could not speak to him, but she sat on her couch and she sent him a thought, because he was not near her. And Jesus saw a woman in his mind, near to death. And in her heart she called on the man of God, and Jesus did not speak, but like a flash of light, a mighty virtue from his soul filled the body of the dying one, and she was healed. Her people said, what happened? How did you get healed? And she said, I don't know. I simply thought about the man of God and asked him, and I was well. And then the story came back to Jesus, and Jesus says to all of his people, God made the universe by thought. He paints the lily and the rose with thought. Why do you think it's strange that a thought could send a healing and change the ethers of disease and death to those of health and life? Why do you think it's strange that I can't send a thought to heal? And everybody went, huh. Healing through our beautiful, loving intentions. If we begin to think, and I'd like to just focus on prayer for just a minute more, if we begin to think of substance, of our prayer as being substance, of our prayer as being not a hit and hope. God, you there? No, God. I was wondering, maybe if you could, in your spare time. You know, no. I've got this energy. I would like to commune with you, Father, Mother, God, and I have a prayer that I would like to put forth. And a prayer is a form that I want to fill. Someone's healings, a desire in my body, something. You all understand? A prayer is for something. So I have this form. And then when I turn to God and I say, God, Father, Mother, God, by any name you call God, it doesn't matter. I ask that your love, your light, your peace, your substance move into this space. And I ask that this happen. And imagine that you could literally see white or pink or golden, fuzzy, liquid, soft, silky light coming into this form of your prayer, and then giving it to wherever it needs to go, to a person, to a healing, to something you want to manifest, to whatever, as this substance going in. How powerful is this? We saw what happens when prayer is moved. We saw that in this prayer for the New Age in the by White Eagle. He says this, which I love this. I don't sleep on this one, I sleep with this one. White Eagle suggests that you hold the form of the six-pointed star, which is the Merkaba, man, heaven, and earth. And this was written at the turn of the century, 1900s. If you hold that form and you say, this is the prayer form, and you place in that prayer the substance of God, that form, and place the prayer in that substance. Get that visual for yourself. You can see anyone perfect in that energy. When you surrender in love and simplicity to the Christ Spirit, the form you are imagining is given life by the power of God. Your thought creates the form, but the love you send is God. You hear? Now, spiritually, we now stand at the new age of consciousness when a gradual recognition will dawn that man must work in cooperation with God, that man cannot shuffle off his responsibility upon God. You know, God, you weren't listening. I asked. We have to work in cooperation with God. In this age, every activity for the welfare of man will play its part, and perhaps the most potent and most far-reaching will be that of putting forth man's own powers of the soul and spirit in the form of prayer. Guys, take a breath. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
How often do you send forth a prayer of that magnitude? How often have you? I want you to thank yourself for sending those prayers out. Thank yourself for stepping forward and sending the prayers out to people, places, and things when they needed you and called upon you. And realize that this is a very, very real gift that we have as Christian beings on this planet. And when we send it, we do not take thought about what happens to the receiver. Our job is done. What they do with God energy is their choice. We're not attached. But we can call forth that love of God and we can send it. Okay? Men will, during this new age, train and dedicate themselves to this end. This will be the form of their expression, the form of their service to their fellows, and of cooperation with the higher power. They will pray. How beautiful is this? How beautiful is this? All right. So, energy, we can see energy affects us, yes?
Yes.
Yes. We know energy can be emotionally charged, and when it's emotionally charged, it becomes substance. You all know when you've been slimed? This side does. You guys know? When you get the energy and there's emotional substance to it, and you go, oh, that's the emotional substance. You know when you've been prayed for. Now, what do you want to receive? What do you want to be good stewards of? You know, how do you want to walk? How do you want to walk? Do you want to send slime back to people when they slime you? 50-50 on something? What if you sent that beautiful prayer substance back instead? Energy is energy. All right. You guys got it? Okay. You're empowered now to go forth and do good in your world?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a beautiful, beautiful bowl. Inside are beautiful, beautiful
Rose quartz.
rose quartz. Please take one of the tiny, beautiful, powerful rose quartz and pass the bowl back.
Thank you.
And we're going to start centering in our meditation, but we're going to use them during our meditation. So if you just kind of, those of you that are waiting for the bowl to pass, just kind of start centering in your chair, feeling some peace. And this is your rose quartz. You'll keep it with you. You'll take it with you. When we're finished, you can put it in your pocket or whatever you need. So it might take a minute to get around, so just start breathing in God's love. Let's just take a breath. There's nothing more powerful than that beautiful presence of God's love. And God, we do open to you. There's nothing more powerful. You are the creator of all, and we are your beloved children. Just let your body sit in a chair. And I want you to just, as the bowl moves and it chinks and you can hear it, I want you to become aware, that's my brother and my sister getting their rock. And how does that open your heart? That's my family getting a rock. I'm not the only one that walks this path. I have many, many people walking the path with me. And as if you have your rock, you can hold it and just become aware of your angels and your guides and teachers. Feel a great peace just pouring through you. There's nothing to do in this moment but feel peace. Everyone breathe, take a deep breath. God, we open to this beautiful knowing that we are your children and that we live in a sea of fabulous potential. And we open now to just breathe your love into our bodies. And as you feel that love of God moving through you, just feel it anchoring in your heart. And if you have a discomfort in your body anywhere, send it there. Thank you, God. And now move to this part of my body or that part of my body. I accept my healing now. Take your focus to the rose quartz that you hold. Tiny little thing that it is. Thank you for enhancing my energy. Thank you for expanding the energy of God's children. Beautiful rock of God. And begin to feel peace moving through you. Just a gentle peace. Imagine you can sense your energy field and feel the safety. That you are powerful, that you are present, and that you are safe. No man takes my life except I give it. No man takes my heart except I give it. And I freely give my love and my heart to mankind, to the world, to my life. And I'm at peace. In this sacred space, imagine, if you will, a form. Perhaps you will choose the six-pointed star. Perhaps you will choose an illness of someone. Perhaps you will choose a desire you have. Create a form in your mind's eye. And now call forth, God, my Father, my Mother, I call forth your divine life, your divine love and substance to move into this form. And I ask, God, that your light now fill it. Fill it to overflowing with whatever has been asked. And just see and sense the form being filled with light. And feel the peace that you still find yourself in. There was no stress, no effort. You are in peace. We're going to lift the form up and we're going to give it to the universe now. Thank you, God, that this is now done. And just feel the peace again. God, I ask you to bless each one here and that hears my voice. Let the preciousness of who they are awaken within. And let them find your heart in their peace. And I thank you. Take a breath, send your love into your world. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. I hope you could feel it. Did you settle down? All right, say, everything has energy.
Everything has energy.
Yay, God.
Yay, God.